All right, so let me get this turned off on my end so I'm not listening to it and being distracted. I know I started at a little bit early at 7:54, but that's okay because I actually have some giveaways to catch up on. I was not here last month because my mom was in the hospital, and these ladies I know did a fabulous job, but I kind of sprung it on them at the last minute. And so the whole giveaways thing, the prize closet lives at my house. So it makes it a little difficult to pass prizes around, or if I'm not here for them to just pull something. So we have two giveaways to do early tonight, and that is June, because last month in July, they did not give away the June VIP attendee gift because it was at my house. And then we have the VIP attendee gift from last month from June to give away. So Julie Bowen, come on down. All right, so let's start with June. So our June, and I'll remind you because I know it's been a long time. So June is Butchering Chickens. It's a great book with lots of pictures. And because you had to wait so long, you are going to be the very first person to have our new bumper stickers at home instead in lhg.org. So you're going to get a bumper sticker as a surprise bonus because you had to wait so long, along with your Butchering Chickens book. All right, Julie, spin that wheel.
Let's do this. Come on, wheel. Oop, 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 oop. All right, Kate.
Kate Nichols. Hey, I wonder if we're related, Kate. Somewhere down the line, I'm sure we are. Kate Nichols. Awesome, Kate. Congratulations. I'll be getting this in the mail. Oh, and if you are still waiting on a gift from months previous, we were having obviously shipping issues because they haven't gone out yet, but they will go out tomorrow with these gifts. All right. So for the July VIP attendees, I chose to go with tonight's theme because I did not have a book on lavender. And this is the organically clean. Oh, look at that. There we go. My green screen. Look, there it is. Oh, now I'm going to have to fix my thing. So, okay, go ahead, Julie. Spin that wheel. The organic clean home. And then while you do that, I am going to fix my green screen.
Ooh, June, yay, congratulations.
All right, June. Okay, so I am still fixing my green screen. So Miranda, Miranda, why don't you come on and do the purpose and the mission statement, and then we'll back up. And well, you know what? It's not 8 o'clock yet. We can't get started. So those of you that are on here early, I apologize for all this craziness. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Boop, boop, and there we go. Did it work? Did it work? Can you see me now?
Yes, you are good, girlfriend.
Awesome. All right. So we are so excited for tonight, as always. We've got 28 people on here. Hey, if you're on here, throw in the comments where you're from. I love to see where you guys are from. Go ahead and chat away. Tell me where you're from. So we know we got Julie from. Julie, help me out, girl.
Where am I from?
Yeah.
I'm from that great
Oklahoma.
State,
Oklahoma. That's right. We got Oklahoma. We got Jesse's in Indiana. Miranda's in Idaho. I'm South Carolina. So tell me where you're from, guys.
Ginger, all right. They're saying the chat's disabled.
Oh, well, that's because you're, let's see, disabled chat. Now try it. Tell me where you're from. Golly, I'm batting 1,000 today, huh? Maybe I should have taken today off too. There we go. Ohio, Washington, Idaho, Houston, Kansas. Wow, it's flying in now. More Ohio, Western New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, New Mexico, Tennessee. Yeah, congratulations, June. Hey, June. Georgia, Ohio, more Idaho. All right. So now that it is 8 o'clock, we can officially start, and my camera is working again. So I think we've got everything figured out, hopefully so, because we don't want any more problems. But I just want to welcome everybody to our August National Virtual Gathering. This for me, y'all know I love doing this. But it's just so much fun getting to interact with you guys. But you may be wondering why I was already talking if you just have gotten on here and it was just now 8 o'clock. You have not missed a single thing. What we do prior to 8 o'clock, starting at 7:55, we actually have a giveaway that we can't do. So this month we'll be giving away three things. We give away, no, 3 or 4. We give away all attendees, VIP attendees, and all VIPs get a gift. But the VIP attendees, it requires a report to be run of the attendees, which we can't run till afterwards. Then you have to compare that to the membership. So we can't do that drawing tonight. So we'll do it next month. So if you're a VIP member or you become a VIP member by midnight tonight, you'll be in the VIP drawing for this month. And I'll tell you what that is at the end when we do all the other drawings, but that's all we were doing is catching up on the VIP attendee drawings. And if you're a VIP and you attended one of the last 2 gatherings and you won, I will make sure I send it to you. But that's also why we ask you to put your address in at registration. The only thing that's used for is if you win a giveaway. We don't collect those. For those of you that it's not your first gathering, you know we don't spam you. We don't send you anything in the mail unless you win something. We only use your email that you register with for reminders about this gathering or about the gathering that you registered for. We don't believe in spam around here unless you're frying it up, put on a sandwich. So that is that. Yes, thank you. VIP membership does rock. There's so much that goes on with that. And to the moderators. So we're going to have breakout rooms after this. So, okay, let me tell you the breakout room is. Tonight, we're going to be talking about homemade cleaning products. Now, that's not so much regionally different because if you're in South Carolina and you want to make a cleaning product, it's going to be the same as if you're in Washington State. But if we were talking about something like planting or seed saving or, I don't know, underwater basket weaving, it would be different between the different regions because of weather, temperature. Obviously, you can't underwater basket weave outside in the winter in Washington State, but you can probably in Florida. So that's why we break out regionally. And I'll drop a Zoom link at the end of this webinar. This is technically a webinar format because I can't see you, but you can see me. And that link will go to a normal Zoom meeting where Jesse will be there and will help you get in a breakout room if you've never been to the breakout rooms before. And you'll be in a room with people in your region and you can talk about you know, the topic tonight, other homesteading topics, if it kind of leads that way. And then hopefully if our speaker's able to, sometimes they will jump over there. I'm not sure if Amy's going to do that tonight or not, but hopefully she will if she has time. So that is the breakout rooms, and those cannot happen without our moderators. And you may say, what is a moderator? Well, it's somebody in the breakout room that just kind of keeps things rolling. And the only thing you have to do to be qualified to be a moderator is have attended one breakout room. So if this is your second National Virtual Gathering and you attended a breakout room last month, then you're qualified. And if you want to do that, we would love to have you. It's so much fun. All the moderators can tell you. It's just if there's a lull, which let's face it, ladies, we rarely have a lull. You just ask a question like, what was your favorite thing we talked about tonight? Or something like that and get it rolling again. So if you would like to be a moderator, drop an email to media@nlhg.org. Jesse just put that in the chat for you so that we know who you are and we can get you on the schedule. And Jesse is always there if you have a problem, which I don't think anybody's really ever had a problem. But she's there if you need her to help you get into a room or whatever. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And I have one more announcement before we get going. We will be at the Ozark Homestead Expo this month. Cindy Ball, are you ready to tell us a little bit about that? There she
Yes, I
is.
am. Once I can
All
find all
right.
my little button things. Yes. Yeah, we're going to be down there. I was given the opportunity to speak at the expo. It's going to be in Missouri. A lot of our ladies from Oklahoma are coming up. We're super excited because we talked to them a lot, but now we actually get to meet them face to face. Some of the executive staff will be flying in. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great time. We have a booth that's there. So if you're anywhere near there, I don't know if we have a link to that expo, but we are going to be there. Would love to meet you. And we're going to have a great time partying for sure that weekend. It is August 26 and 27, I believe, are the dates that the expo is actually going on. So yeah.
Jesse just dropped the link in the chat for you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. So yeah, I hope you can join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the first one that we've done. But the gal who runs it, Cheryl, we have gotten to know her over the years and she invited us to be down there. And so we're super, super excited for the opportunity. So, and while I'm here, I might as well just go ahead if it's okay with you, Ginger. Our purpose statement, why do we even get on here once a month? Well, first, we'd love to see you all. We'd love to share the knowledge. But our purpose for existing as an organization is to empower women through homesteading. And I cannot tell you how much I believe in this. I have seen women totally change because of the self-confidence that they gain in this lifestyle and just that assurance that they're helping their family or loved ones with what they're doing. So yes, empowering women through homesteading. And then our mission statement, how we actually do this is we share knowledge. And that's through the local chapters. That's here on our once a month national virtual gathering that we do. It's at the conferences that we're invited to speak at. Gosh, any opportunity we have to share the knowledge of homesteading, we do. And then secondly is to build community. And I can't think of a greater reason for us existing, especially after the pandemic. One gentleman who is a culture person, like he's been studying the culture of the US for years and years and years. And in commenting on our present state within the US, he said the only thing that's going to heal what's going on right now is community. And it just felt good to know that we are there, that we are part of that solution. And so it's really wonderful to know that the National Ladies Homestead Gathering, part of our mission statement is to build community locally and then nationally. And so our last one is to grow friendship. I can attest to this. Some of my best friends are women that I have met through the National Ladies Homestead Gathering. And if anybody knows my story, it's not been a pretty one the last couple of years. And I tell you what, the women that are my friends that I have met through the National Ladies Homestead Gathering, they have been a huge support and encouragement through this journey. So anyways, that's our mission statement. How we empower women through homesteading is by sharing knowledge, building community, and growing friendships. So there you go, Ginger, back to you.
Awesome. So one of the things that goes right along with that, we support each other. You know, that's part of community, is supporting each other. And one of the ways that we do that is we cheer each other on, because we have to celebrate each other no matter what. And here at the Ladies Homestead Gathering, National Ladies Homestead Gathering, we like to do that through what we call Atta Girls. And that is something that you've tried, done, failed at, but learned from. It doesn't matter. we want to say atta girl to you, and you guys have submitted some of those, and Miranda is here with us. A lot of you know and love her just like we do, or just like I do. I can't speak for anybody else but myself, but I do love Miranda, and Miranda is going to bring us those atta girls from this last month that you guys have submitted.
Hi, ladies. So I get to share Atta Girls every month with you that women from all across the country share on our private community. And if you're ever interested in hopping on there and sharing your own Atta Girl moment, I would love to read it at our next national virtual gathering. So head over to community.nlhg.org and find my post. As always, share your Atta Girl moment with us. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be big. It can be something small. And actually, the small ones are my favorites because they make me feel like I'm moving in the right direction. So share it with us. All right, so I'm going to read some of these from this past month. Jessica Scheinman said she hosted their first home grown-up education class in their new learning space. So that's a pretty fantastic one. Brooke said that she grew her first loofah gourd and she posted a picture. I am super jealous of this because I cannot grow loofah where I'm at, Brooke. So atta girl to you, that's pretty awesome. Monica Mitchell said that it's been so hot and humid that she's put all of her energies into the inside homestead chores. She says she's in her new cottage and she's organizing for more efficiency. So some of that means downsizing. And then she also said her first flock of 8 meat chickens are at 5 weeks. She said that they're different from laying chickens. So, and this is my favorite thing that she posted, ladies, learning, always learning. Atta girl, that is fantastic. Peggy Allen shared that they got their first All-American sun oven for the first time. She said it was a success. They learned how to track the sun, and the second dinner was perfectly cooked. She said they did salmon and rice, stacked in cookers the first meal, and then chicken pieces, chicken with carrots and onions, and that was stacked on top of baby red potatoes. And she says that it worked out great, and it only took about 2.5 hours. Julie Bowen said that she butchered, scalded, hand-plucked, and vacuum-bagged 20 Cornish cross by herself. Julie, I'm exhausted just reading that, so atta girl. Kelly White shared that their chapter had their first vendor event and that she personally reorganized the house and added shelving for all her canned goods and supplies, but she also stepped outside of her comfort zone and started selling some of her homemade goods at the local farmers market. So atta girl, Kelly, that's fantastic when our homesteads can reach those outside of our immediate circle and you can share the bounty of your homestead with others. Teresa Everest said that she taught her 13-year-old granddaughter how to shoot a compound bow, how to pressure can, how to water bath can, and taught her how to make an apron. She made 2 tank tops for herself. Teresa, that is amazing when we can share those skills with other folks, especially our loved ones. So atta girl to you. Diane Allen said that they have their almost 8-week-old hens in their coop full time now. That is wonderful news. Karen Hart shared that she made Queen Anne's lace jelly for the first time. I didn't even know that you could do that. She said the first batch was so tasty that she had to make a second batch to make sure that they have enough to last until they bloom again next year. Karen, that is amazing. And then the last one is Lisa Poria shared, and she shared a picture too. So hop on there and check these pictures out. She made soap for the very first time, and then she shared later that the scent was cucumber melon. And that is one of my favorite scents of all time because I grew up in the 90s and nothing smells better than cucumber melon soap and lotion to me. So atta girl, Lisa, that's fantastic. Ladies, I really appreciate that you hop on here and share these moments with us and let us cheer you on. So thank you.
Thank you. And atta girl to all you ladies. That's awesome. Y'all always amaze me every month and inspire me because as I hear your atta girls, I'm like, oh, maybe I can try that. Or, oh, I haven't done that in a while. Maybe I should do that. Or, oh, that sounds really fun. So keep the Atta Girls coming. We love them because we like to celebrate each other, because that's why we're here, to support each other and, just to celebrate each other and to build each other up. All right. So on to the main reason why we are here. And I'm going to do a really short introduction and just get right to the speaker because we are right on time. We are talking about homemade cleaning products, and we have a speaker today who is an author, and she is going to tell us all about the homemade cleaning products. Now, when she's speaking, if you have questions, don't throw them in the chat. At the bottom of your screen, there should be a Q&A function. And if you put them in there, they won't get lost. We do try to watch the chat in case somebody throws it in there by mistake. But if you can put it in the Q&A, if she doesn't cover it during her presentation, then at the end, we actually will pull them up and ask her specifically those questions. So if you have questions, put them in the Q&A so they don't get lost. We make sure they get covered. Amy, take it away. Tell us about yourself. Give us an introduction, and then tell us all the things.
Okay, I can do that. Hi, ladies. Nice to see you all virtually. My name is Amy Kolb Noyes, and I'm excited to see that you are representing a lot of the country here. I'm in Northern Vermont. I didn't see any other Vermonters in the chat, so I'll represent this corner of the country. I wrote a book called Non-Toxic House Cleaning. It's a little pocket guide. It's not very big. It's part of Chelsea Green. That's the publishers. They did a Green Guide series back in 2009 is when I wrote this book, or that's when it was published. And I spent some time going to a lot of county fairs and different events and talking about making and using your own non-toxic house cleaners right after the book came out. But that was about 10 years ago. So I haven't ever done this on Zoom before. So I'm going to rely on your questions in the chat. When I gave presentations, I'd like to have it more of a conversation and less of a lecture. So please do submit your questions in the Q&A. A little more about me. I've lived here in Northern Vermont for 30 years now. I grew up outside of Boston. I came here after college. I live on a small homestead. We call it Indecision Farm. My last name is spelled no yes. So that is part of why it's called Indecision Farm. The other part is we just couldn't think of a name. So Indecision it was. When I wrote this book, Chelsea Green was putting out a contest, and that's how I ended up writing the book. They wanted people to pitch ideas for their Green Guide series, and I pitched the non-toxic house cleaning idea. And the reason why I was into non-toxic house cleaning and researching and making and using my own house cleaners is because I had my daughter had asthma from a very young age, and my mother was immunocompromised. So between those two, there were a lot of allergens, a lot of cleaners that were just really bad for them to be around. My mother would get lightheaded. She actually passed out once at a supermarket because they were mopping the floor with an ammonia-based cleaner. So that really heightened my awareness. And the first person I turned to learn from was my grandmother, who grew up during the Depression and before supermarket aisles were filled with cleaners, and people made their own cleaners all the time back then. So she had lots of great ideas for me. When my daughter was born, I didn't want to use disposable diapers. I was committed to cloth diapers, but I didn't know what to do with them until I could run a load of wash. And she introduced me to borax and soaking them in a solution of borax and water. And that was really I guess my very first homemade house cleaner. And I still keep a box of borax. I don't have diapers around anymore, but Borax is one of my main ingredients. I'll introduce you. I have props here off to the side, so I'll bring them in. What I called my big three. And if there are any This or Us fans, I wrote this book long before This or Us, so it's a different big three. But my big three consist of baking soda, which I buy in the biggest container I can get it in because it has so many great uses, and vinegar. Again, the biggest container I can buy. This is just run-of-the-mill, cheap white vinegar. Brand name does not matter. Any kind will work. There are applications for other kinds of vinegar. The reason why I use the distilled white vinegar to 5% acidity, which is your regular run-of-the-mill vinegar, is because sometimes other vinegars can stain, and you're trying to clean, you don't want to stain. So an apple cider vinegar, for example, might leave a color behind. That said, I do use apple cider vinegar quite a lot because we have apple trees here on our homestead, and I make a lot of apple cider vinegar. The other of my big three is soap. And I like to use Castile soaps. These are not giant because I like to buy them in different scents, just to shake things up. And so a lot of my recipes rely on those three ingredients. I'm going to go straight to the Q&A first because I have a question here, and that's really what I want to do is answer your question. Sheila asked if I had anything to help with hard water. She said she's tried everything, even CLR, which also didn't work. I have very hard water as well, and I feel your pain, Sheila. There's two things that I can tell you about hard water. Vinegar is my go-to. And if you have like a hard water buildup around a drain, for example, I would take a sponge or a cloth and soak it in vinegar and place that right on the drain area and let it stay overnight. A lot of these ingredients are powerful with the advent of time. We're used to immediacy when we buy things off the supermarket shelf. We want them to work fast, and that's not always the case. Often it is the case, but not always. And hard water is one of the instances where you really need time on your side. I think of three different reasons why homemade cleaners people think of as difficult or more time consuming. One is, yes, sometimes you need to start a project, let it sit, walk away, do something else. You're homesteaders, you have plenty of other things to do, and come back to it. The other is a little elbow grease. Sometimes you need to scrub a little harder than you might with a toxic chemical, but I assure you the trade-off is worth it. And the third helper is heat. Sometimes you can use a more gentle cleanser with a little heat, and that will get the job done rather than turning to a harsh chemical. So that's my spiel on those. Please, if you have any other specific questions, do put them in the Q&A. I will give you a little outline of the book. As I said, it's a pocket guide. It came out in 2009, and it's broken down by the job. So the first section of the book goes over the ingredients and the tools you'll want to use. Tools differ from ingredients in that they're, scrub brushes and sponges. And one of the things that was just coming out when I wrote about this was these magic eraser sponges. So I didn't go very deeply into them. I did mention them in the book. These are a fantastic tool for non-toxic house cleaning. They work by having an abrasive, sort of like a burr. and that abrasiveness is so fine you can't really feel it with your fingers, but that's what makes it work without any harsh chemical cleaners. They do make these injected with cleaners, which I do not use. I just use the plain ones. I have a question here. They say they struggle with pet stains and accidents in the carpet. Yep, I get that. Tile grout and bamboo flooring. I have bamboo flooring as well. For bamboo flooring, I like to use vinegar in water, and I always use the vinegar with cold water because with warm water, it will streak. So I'll put, say, a cup of vinegar in a bucket of water and mop with that. It does a really good job of loosening up the dirt and shining it. With the bamboo, if it has a laminate cover on it, you don't want your mop to get too wet because it will get in the cracks and underneath, and you don't want that water damage. So make sure you're using you're wringing your mop out really well. If you have really tough sticky or otherwise hard to get up substance on your floor, you can put a few drops of soap in with it. If you put in too much soap, you have to rinse, and who wants to do that? But with the vinegar and water, you don't have to rinse. Pet accidents in the carpet, I've got a few tricks for you, but the biggest thing to remember is that you don't want that to spread out. So you want to clean that up with the least amount of liquid as possible, because if you put a bunch of water on it, it's just going to spread the stain wider. I don't know if your grandmother's ever told you to put club soda on a stain. Mine certainly did. Club soda works fantastic, I've found, to loosen up a stain. It's bubbly water. Club soda, you can make it in if you have a soda machine, Soda Stream. Sorry, couldn't think of the name. I make mine in my Soda Stream, and that really helps get in the fibers and separates the dirt from the fiber and makes it easy to pick up. And another tip is the way you clean. So if you're working in a circular motion around a stain, start at the outside and go to the middle, so you're not taking the strongest part of the stain and spreading it out. Vinegar helps to really neutralize the odors in pet stains. I do have a section on pet stains in here, and I may loop around and let you know what I'm forgetting, because I know there's a couple other tips. But I don't want to slow down too much. And another big thing is to make sure you're removing all of the solids before you try to clean up a pet stain, because then it's going to spread out. So again, remove the solids, a small amount of club soda, the least amount of water you can get away with, and then a cup of vinegar on top, blot it until it's clean, reapply if necessary. That's my biggest tip there. And tile grout. If your tile grout is well, it depends on the stain. If you're getting mildew stains, Borax is my go-to for that. So Borax works to kill mildew, but only if it's dampened. It doesn't work as a dry powder. If you're getting mildew, the area is probably already damp, and you can sprinkle a little borax on it, let it sit an hour overnight, however long you can. Scrub it with a scrub brush or a toothbrush to get it in, and then rinse it away. But if it's not already wet, then just take a spray bottle with water, dampen the area before you put the borax down. And if you are dealing with some grout dirt that isn't mildew, baking soda is a great option. If baking soda isn't tough enough, there's a product called washing soda, which I like to think of as baking soda on steroids. It's in the laundry aisle. I believe it's also made by Arm & Hammer, and it works better on really tough, maybe gooey type of stains. Washing soda is more caustic. So make sure you're using gloves if you use it with, the manufacturer recommends you don't need gloves if you're using it as a dry powder, but if you're making it into any sort of solution, mixing it with water, they recommend using gloves. I'm going to circle back around before I get to other questions here on the reasons why these specific ingredients work so well. Baking soda is basic, and washing soda is even more basic. On the opposite end of the pH scale, vinegar, lemon juice are acidic. It takes an acidic cleaner to tackle a basic stain, and it takes a basic cleaner to tackle an acidic stain. That may be more chemistry than you want to get your head around right now, but that's the science behind this. And if people are interested in that, I can go deeper. Most people aren't interested in that, and that's fine too. Julie says, you mentioned having apples and using them. Do I make my own apple cider vinegar with an aged starter? If so, do I consider it stronger for a cleaner? I don't. I do have a mother that I use in my vinegar if necessary. Sometimes the wild yeasts just do their magic, and I don't need it. So I'm guessing what I'm calling a mother is what you're calling an age starter. I think it's probably the same thing. I don't know that it's stronger for a cleaner. I guess I think they're probably comparable. It works really well as a cleaner, but again, the white vinegar, if you're cleaning something that is, say, a white tile or something, the apple cider vinegar could leave a stain on it. And so I'd go with the white vinegar in that way. But as for cleaning power, I think they're probably equivalent. If the apple cider vinegar is more acidic than 5%, then yeah, it would probably be a stronger vinegar. Great question. I've never actually tested that, so I'll have to think about that one. And Bonnie asked about mold. I mentioned borax for mold. That's really my best tip. I have a few others. One of my favorite ways to use all of these ingredients together is to make a soft scrub. So kind of like the soft scrub you'd buy in the supermarket. But I make it with one of these powders and a few drops of Castile soap. I like Castile soap, but you could really use any liquid soap, and some water, and you mix it until it's a paste, sort of the consistency of maybe cake frosting. And then you can really rub it onto the surface. I would use, if I was having a mold issue, I would make this paste with the soap and water and borax. If I wanted to scrub and clean like my stove top, I use baking soda and soap and water to make the same type of paste. And if something was really burnt on, tough to get up, baking soda wasn't doing it, which honestly baking soda usually does it, but if it's just not enough, then I'd turn to the washing soda. Same idea. Make the paste, only make enough that you're going to use that one time. I have a lot of recipes in the book that you make a spray bottle full of cleaner, and those are shelf stable, sorry. They last a long time. But for these soft scrubs, you really just want to make enough to do the job. So maybe a tablespoon of baking soda and 2 drops of soap and enough water to get it to the right consistency. And while I'm there, I'll shout out, does anybody, and you can put it in the Q&A because that's what I'm looking at. You can put it in the comments if you want to. I guess I can kind of see both, but does anybody know the difference between a soap and a detergent? I talked about, I like to use Castile soap, and where Castile soap, I can buy it at the supermarket. I can buy it at my local feed store actually sells it as well. You can find it online too if you like to shop online. Amazon has them, I believe. This is Dr. Bronner's. It's a very prolific brand. And a Castile soap is just a soap that's made without an animal fat. Soap is made from lye and mixing lye and a fat, and usually that fat is a tallow or goat's milk or some animal derived fat. Castile soap, it's a nut oil, or you can make soap with olive oil, other types of oils that are plant based. So Castile soap is plant based, and regular soap usually has an animal product in it. And detergent, instead of having any kind of fat, uses a petroleum product. And the detergents were developed during the world wars when animal fats were not easy to come by. And so the chemical companies started making detergents using petroleum products. And now we have detergents that are plant-based, but traditionally detergents are always had petroleum products in them. Not so much anymore. Okay, let's see. In the comments, I see, yeah, I have not covered laundry yet, but I'll get there. Washing soda and borax are sold right next to each other at Wegmans under the fabric softener in her store. Yes, Sheila, right in the laundry aisle is where I find washing soda and borax as well. To make a laundry soap is pretty easy. I have a couple of recipes that I include in the book. One is a powder, one is a liquid, and one is something kind of in between that starts out as a liquid, but the more it sits on the shelf, it gets a little chunky. So you have to kind of shake it up before you use it. To be honest with you, I personally have gone away from using my homemade laundry soap, not because it didn't work, but because I have very hard water. And the reason why detergents took off is because soap reacts with hard water, and it leaves soap scum on glass, and it leaves that hard ring we were talking about around a sink. And for laundry, it turns whites kind of dingy. So you can combat that by putting some vinegar in the rinse cycle. If you have a fabric softener, a special place to put fabric softener in your laundry, you can put it in there, or you can just toss it in during the rinse cycle. That helps, but it's not 100%. So I have actually gone back to using a plant-based detergent. But I will share with you a laundry soap recipe that I used for a really long time, and I did really like it. But if I lived in a place that did not have as hard water as I have here, I would still be using it. The powdered laundry soap is what I used to make in front of audiences when I did book tours. And it was a lot of fun because I bring my Cuisinart with me. I had one old Cuisinart that I just used for making this soap, because if you use the one that you cook with, you have a lot of rinsing to do after you make it. But I used 1 bar of plain soap. I used Ivory soap because Ivory soap didn't have added scents or lotions, which can actually stain clothes. So 1 bar of plain soap, and then I put in the grater attachment to make soap flakes. If you have a store that sells soap flakes, you could just buy a box of soap flakes, but I have not found them on the market. So I just made my own by grating up a bar of soap. So 1 bar of soap, a 1/2 cup of borax, and a 1/2 cup of washing soda. Or if you want to use it on more delicate items, you would substitute baking soda instead of washing soda. So grate it up with the grater blade, take it out, put the regular blade in, put your borax and your soda in and mix it up. And that's a very simple laundry soap that I think works just great. I'm going to go to a couple other questions here. Describe the ingredients and instructions to make dishwasher tablets. So I don't have, that is the one thing that I have not been satisfied with all the things I've experimented with. In the book, I have an emergency dishwasher detergent. If you run out, frankly, I would hand wash my dishes before I go there because it tends to leave a white film on glasses, which I don't really like. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip that one. If somebody else has a good recipe, I would love to hear about it as well, because I have never found one I've been satisfied with for a dishwasher. Best recipe for a basic cleaner like counters. Yeah, I'll share you some of my my spray bottle go-tos that I like to use a lot. These are really fun because you can customize them with essential oils, and they can smell any way you want. So I have this sort of, oh, before I jump off of laundry, Fels Naphtha is a laundry soap that this is what I use as a stain remover. So I just wet the end of this bar of soap, rub it on the stain, rub it in as you would with any stain remover, and then wash it. So that's just a little aside. Anyway, essential oils are great for customizing and making your cleaner smell any way you want. And then some of them also have extra antibacterial properties or anti-mold properties. When we're talking mold, I should have mentioned tea tree oil is a little expensive, but another great one. You can dilute it in a spray bottle and spray it on, and it will help keep mold away. Clove oil is another one. Clove oil, you need, and tea tree oil. You want to be really careful. Don't get the concentrated oil on your skin. I'm going to find you that spray bottle recipe. Bear with me 1 second. So my all-purpose kitchen spray is my favorite. I take a big spray bottle, like 32-ounce spray bottle. You can also cut this in half for a smaller, like 16-ounce spray bottle. A tablespoon of Castile soap with an essential oil like peppermint, orange, or lavender. Or you can use a tablespoon of unscented soap and 8 to 10 drops of your favorite essential oil. And then I put in about 2 cups of water, a cup of vinegar, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then there should be a little room left in the big bottle. You can top it off with water. And you need to shake it up every time you use it to redistribute the ingredients. And that's a really nice, very solid kitchen spray cleaner. With the lemon juice, if you're not using it all the time, you should stick it in the fridge. Otherwise, the lemon juice will go rancid. I do have other ingredients that are shelf stable that don't use lemon juice. But if you use it all the time, you probably will use it up before that happens. I'll give you another one. That works really well on grimy surfaces, and a big spray bottle. Again, this time a teaspoon of soap and a teaspoon of washing soda in there, 3 cups of warm water and a tablespoon of vinegar, and shake to mix. The water needs to be warm to dissolve that washing soda and make it so that it's can go through the spray bottle. So those are a couple of all-purpose cleaners I really like. Can I recommend a reliable spray bottle? Yeah, the best spray bottles are the ones that if you have a bottle of Windex or other commercial cleaner that you just finished using, instead of throwing it in the recycle bin, reuse it, because those work a lot better than the ones you buy at the store. Inevitably, they die, and I don't know why. They're not the best made products, but if you reuse one, a commercial one, they tend to last a lot longer, I find. Castile soap doesn't seem to suds much. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't sud as much as detergents for sure, or probably animal-based soaps, but you don't necessarily need the suds for the cleaning power. I know it feels like you're cleaning better when you have suds, but the soap is still working without them. When making a cleaning solution, can you add essential oils for scent? Oh yes. So sorry, I'm a little behind on the questions, but you can and do. I do all the time. Tea tree oil, as I said, is one of my favorites. Some people are a little turned off by the scent of it. A lot of these cleaning ingredients have scents that aren't people's favorite. A lot of people shy away from vinegar because of the smell, but I have to tell you, the smell of vinegar dissipates after a couple hours. So if you put an essential oil in with it, that will mask the scent of the vinegar, and then eventually the vinegar will dissipate and the essential oil is the scent that will stay behind. Can homemade laundry soap be used with HE washing machines? Yes. All the recipe that I read you from this book can be used with an HE washing machine, but you use less. So HE washing machines use less water, so you want to use less soap, so because there's less rinsing happening. My daughter found a recipe for detergent and includes Zote flakes, Arm & Hammer laundry soap, borax, OxyClean, Unstoppables, and baking soda. Will this be hard on a front loader? That's a really good question. I would be concerned if you have an HE or a front loader. I am not familiar with this. When I did the research for this book, Unstoppables, I don't think were a thing. So I'm not familiar with all those ingredients. So sorry, I'm gonna have to skip that one. Castile soap leaves things feeling greasy, Diana said. I haven't had that experience, but the trick may be making sure that you're not using too much soap, and if it does feel kind of slimy, then rinse after washing. And yes, I do use Castile soap instead of dish soap all the time, and it works fine for me. Again, it doesn't suds up like a synthetic detergent necessarily, but it cleans really well. Okay, I'm going back to the chat now. Anyone know a Castile soap besides Dr. Bronner's? I'll chime in that their Vermont Soap Company makes a really nice one. So plug for Vermont here. And someone else wrote Whole Naturals Castile. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, and they do all work differently. And you should, if you're interested, try a bunch out, different brands, and see what you like. I'm going to go to some other ingredients that I haven't highlighted yet. Excuse me. One is salt. Salt is really abrasive, but it doesn't scratch very sensitive material. So you could clean, say, a stovetop with salt, an enamel stovetop without scratching it, especially if you go to a finer grain salt. But if I'm cleaning the inside of my oven, I will turn I mentioned before, sometimes heat is your friend. I will turn an oven on to about 200 and sprinkle salt on the stains in my oven and let it sit there. get warmed up, maybe 10 minutes, turn the oven off. Or if I'm cooking with the oven, I'll do this after I've turned the oven off, but it's still warm. And then just take a sponge, and salt is really great at getting up those burnt on stains. Also, the soft scrub I talked about before can be used in ovens, or you can just sprinkle baking soda on those stains and then take your handy spray bottle with vinegar in it instead of water and spray the vinegar on the baking soda. If you've ever watched that reaction, there's quite a chemical reaction between baking soda and vinegar. It's what kids use in their science experiments when they make volcanoes, and it's got that big bubble up. If you spray the vinegar on lightly, it will do a little fizzing, and that will help loosen any stains that you can just wipe up then. Likewise, if you're doing the top of your oven, you can spray that vinegar up there, and then damp your sponge and put the baking soda on your sponge, and then wipe the top. If you can't really see what you're doing up at the top of the oven, you can put a mirror at the bottom of the oven or on the shelf to see what you're doing up there. I want to mention a few more ingredients. I know I've been talking a long time, but the other ingredients that I talk about in the book are pretty much things that you already have in your house. Isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, I've mentioned lemon juice, and for woods, natural woods and leathers, oils such as olive oil or nut oils, sesame seed oils. Leather and woods need to be nourished as well as cleaned, and so that's the idea behind furniture polish. And I have some recipes where you can make your own too. I have heard some people say in warmer climates olive oil can go rancid on them. I haven't had that problem in Vermont, but it doesn't get that hot here, so I can't speak to that. And another tip, if you're making an oil-based product like a floor cleaner, is sweet almond oil. And I just cut my lavender flowers and put the lavender heads in there, and then I don't have to mix an essential oil in with it. I just let it sit in here, and then I strain out the lavender flowers when I'm ready to use it. Likewise, vanilla. I scent a lot of my cleaning products with vanilla extract. I make my own vanilla extract by just putting vanilla beans in vodka, which I'm sure a lot of you do too. Let's see, do we have any more questions? I use salt and vinegar to clean the hard water from inside my electric kettle. Yeah, that's a great use. Again, that vinegar and salt also will break down that hard water calc that builds up. Anything, again, the hard water deposits are basic, and so you need something acidic to break them up. And so the vinegar is acidic, and that would do it. Lemon juice is another one that works well. I feel like I've been talking a long time, so I don't want to run over on you guys.
No, that is fantastic, Amy. We so appreciate you being here and all the information. And if you can, we would love for you to jump over to our breakout rooms, and Jessie can help you navigate through those, so that the ladies can ask you maybe something they've forgotten, or just think of, you always think of something right at the end. But I'm getting ready to I'll put a link up for that in a minute if Jessie hasn't given it to you, and you can just jump right over there.
Fantastic.
Guys, we've had so much fun tonight. I know I have, learning all this stuff. It has been so awesome to have Amy here and her expertise. But before we go to the breakout rooms, we have a couple of things to take care of, and that is, of course, the giveaways. because I give stuff away. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. And I don't know, they just can't stop me. So the first giveaway I'm going to do is looks like I have lipstick on my teeth. My goodness. Okay. This is for all VIPs. Now, that means whether or not you attend the National Virtual Gathering, if you're a VIP member, you get in this giveaway. And I'm going to do magazine bundles. That's usually what we do. And so that's what we got tonight. And this is for all VIPs. Let me get my screen share up. Here we go. All right. All VIPs, if you are a VIP member, then your name is on this wheel. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. All right, Janet, that's you. Where did my sticky note go? Here it is, Janet DeField. All right. So, Janet, I will be mailing you this magazine bundle tomorrow. All right. So, our next giveaway, let me get this off here. Our next giveaway is going to be all attendees. So if you attended tonight, you're going to be on this next wheel. So you will be getting Willow and Sage. If you guys haven't ever seen this magazine, it is phenomenal. And this is the natural home issue. And this is going to give you some non-toxic solutions, 10 ways to use baking soda, homemade dishwasher detergent. I don't know if it works or not, haven't tried it. So, okay, this is all attendees. So if you're attending tonight, let's get you going here. All right. So all attendees, new wheel, your name's on here. If you're attending tonight, good luck to everyone. And oh, there we go. Sophia Rose. Sophia Rose gets that Willow and Sage. Awesome. Okay. And so we'll stop share. And the last giveaway that will not happen to, oh, I have a green pen. The last giveaway, I'm sorry, easily amused. That this is for all VIP, no, excuse me, VIP attendees. So if you are a VIP attendee on tonight's gathering, let me see. The Naturally Clean Home. So this is another book of natural cleaning solutions. But not giving this away tonight because I have to run on my reports. That will be next month at 7:55. I will give that away. And you don't have to be present next month to win because you were present this month, and that's what qualifies you. And so that's how it is. Now, guys, I want to encourage you, if you've never been to a breakout room before, please go. They're so much fun. I am going to throw the link up for the breakout rooms. Now, if you're not going to the breakout rooms, hang out for just a minute, because after I put that up, I'm going to put up a link for to register for next month. So if you're not going to the breakout rooms, hang out. Once I post it, I'm going to give the guys or the ladies 2 minutes to get out of here and get to the breakout room, and then I'll post that registration for next month. If you're going to the breakout rooms, I'll bring your link over there, so don't worry about it. You're going to the breakout rooms, go ahead and go. I've had so much fun with you guys tonight. I hope to see you next month. I hope you have a great night.